going, everybody? So there's been a ton of people asking me if I'm going to do YouTube series or updates on my Civic project, and frankly, I don't know. I'm going to try and shoot out 10-minute videos often-ish. This is going to be the first of many. This one's going to be a lot of rambling and really just kind of talking about the project. I'm still coming off a cold. My furnace will be running in the background. It's going to be scuffed. Bear with me, you know. Frankly, I just don't have time to spend in editing. I'm going to do these on my phone and just see how it goes, okay? So if you like them, subscribe, like the video, comment, let me know what to change. If lighting's messed up, if sound's messed up, if it's little things that I can handle and deal with and fix, I will. If not, then I just hope you guys like these videos coming off my phone. And let me know how the wide angle is. You know, it's just an iPhone 12, I believe, Pro. So I got the wide angle and the narrow. I'm doing the wide because my garage is really small and it's hard to step back far enough to kind of see everything. So basically what we got is my 98 Civic, okay? I bought this sedan from Texas on Copart, clean title, not running. So it was all bone stock when I bought it. The cylinder head was like taking off the engine and who knows what else. I just really wanted something super rust free, and that's what I got. I mean, the rockers on this thing are mint. There's not a lick of rust anywhere that's not surface rust from Michigan. So like here I found there was like a little Bondo repairing the door, and I started chipping it away, and I didn't put any paint on it, so it started surface rusting. This black spray paint right here, similar deal. Some of the paint was like sun faded and chipping away. I just spray bombed it so that it doesn't surface rust. We basically got the car gutted. Everything from front to back is torn out except the stuff by the rear glass and the doors and the front and rear windshield, or front and rear. So I'm gonna get the doors and the windows taken out of it, and then basically everything from the trunk well right about here, right at this like lower straight line there, down under all the way forward to right in this area here will be completely removed. All of this, the wheel wells, this upper like speaker console area back there, all this floor here completely removed. And what we're going to do is we're going to build a 25.2 full chassis. It'll be 6.0 cert. Okay, so basing it off of the SFI 25.2E, I believe that's the newest revision. I'd have to check the website when I get closer to that point. But it will be a full tube chassis car. The rear will be 4-linked. I have a Ford 88. Okay, this is out of an Explorer. So if you don't know much about Ford 88s, this is the Explorer model that came with disc brakes from the factory, which don't matter because I'll be changing them. I think this was a 373 LSD unit, which again, that's going to get a spool. It has 31 spline axles, and I'm either going to keep them 31 and go with Strange, or I'll bump them up to like a 35 axle from Strange. I believe it's the same price, so I may just bump it up. The tubes are 3¼ inch thick wall tubes. And then I'm going to do some Tin Soldier brackets and do some chromoly tubing bracing. And then, like I said before, it'll be a Strange spool and a Strange axle kit. All right, and I'm gonna shorten it. I have my own pucks and alignment rod to do all the shortening myself. This project, I really am going to pride myself and push myself to do every single little piece that I possibly can do and take care of. So every bit of tube bending, notching, welding, fab stuff. If I have to draw up brackets in CAD myself and send it to Send Cut Send, I will. I'm really gonna try and do everything I can on this build. So that's the rear end. Once the floor is all cut out, I will stuff the tires up underneath there. And what we have for the tires here, I'm gonna move some stuff out of the way so that I can actually show you these. This is about as real time as it gets. You're not gonna get any prepped videos or setup videos from me, at least anytime soon, I should say. You know, I got 2 little kids and a wife and a full-time job, so I'm just kind of doing this when I can. I work on it usually 1 or 2 hours a day. All right, so wheels and tires. The wheels are 15 by 14 wide, and this tire is a 28 10.5W. And what that W stands for is wide. And then I'll grab a tape measure and kind of show you. So it's supposed to be a 10.5 width, but the W makes it just about 12 inches, close to 12 inches. And then overall, I think it's about 14 inches from top to bottom. So like both of them stacked up on the ground. Yeah, it's about 31. So 15 and a half-ish. Huge dish. I think the back space I'm running is 5.5. These are just cheap dirt track wheels. I will use these for the street tires, which I guess I really didn't even kind of talk about what I'm building this car for. But I can kind of get that into other videos, but mainly it's going to be a drag and drive car. So Hot Rod Drag Week, Rocky Mountain Race Week, Summit Midwest Drags, Sick Week, and there's a bunch of others popping up. And basically it's like usually 4 to 5 drag strips in 4 to 5 different days. And you drive from track to track. It's anywhere from like 600 miles round trip to I think as high as about 1,200 miles round trip. So a lot of street driving and drag racing. And that is the plan for this. And I'm gonna drive it to work, man. I'll take my kids out for ice cream. I live in Detroit area, so I mean, this is just kind of what we do, and we drive drag cars on the road. So big meats for the rear. Once the rear's all cut out, I'll get those up under there. And once they're under the car, I will have a good game plan of how close I can get them to the wheel well on each side, and then how wide I can make my axle. At that point, I'll modify the axle, cut it down, shorten it, get the brackets on it, brace it, get it shoved up in there. Once the axle's in there, I will then have a good idea of where to put my number 1 bar. And as I'm doing these videos, I do plan on teaching you guys what some of these bars are called, why they're labeled certain ways, why they go certain ways, the sizes of them. I mean, you name it. I'm really going to try and go through it. I want you guys to just enjoy these videos, see a cool build, but also learn little things here and there. I may do one video on just like notching tubing or how I cut brackets by hand. I don't know, but again, I'm just gonna try and take like 10 minutes out of the day. When I see my little 10-minute timer come up right here in the middle of my screen on my phone, I'll probably start cutting the video off. So once I get that axle up in there, I'll get my number 1 bar in, start my 4-link process. And once I got that semi-started and happy, I can start building the rest of the cage. And basically it'll be a funny car cage. The hoop will kind of go from this number 1 bar here. See if I can line myself up. From the number 1 bar that goes down there, and the main hoop will go this way. So it won't be straight up and down. It will be a forward-leaning main hoop. And then what that will do is allow me to build the funny car cage out behind it. Because the back of the front seat's gonna be way back here. I mean, I'll almost be able to look out the back window in the seat. So I'll be sitting behind the B-pillar, basically. You know, my shoulder will be like right in this area here. And then that's gonna give the transmission plenty of room, all right? And once you see the transmission that I have for this, you'll understand why the seat has to be way back here and what all is going on. So here I got the transmission. An engine. And right now it's just kind of bolted together with the adapter kit. All right, so this is a K20. The car will run a K24, but this is a good running quality K20 that I'll use to start the car, diagnose it, get it all set up, make sure the wiring's good, the fuel pump's working, basically figure out the whole car, and then I'll drop in my rod and piston K24. I'm just gonna do a simple rod and piston build, some head studs, stuff like that. The adapter plate is a FabBot adapter plate. And then this is a 4L60 GM transmission. So this is like your heavy duty truck SUV transmission. It is a 4-speed. It's basically the same as a Turbo 400 if you've ever heard anybody talk about a Turbo 400, but it has overdrive and a lockup clutch in the converter. This is gonna allow me to run a real high stall converter, but also cruise down the freeway with the clutch locked up at lower RPMs. So I'm really just trying to get the best of the both worlds without sacrificing too much. I will have a trans brake and a manual valve body in there, so I don't have to deal with any electronics failures. And I'm just hoping that it works out good enough. Yes, running a Turbo 400 or a Power Glide would probably be faster going down the drag strip. Absolutely. This thing's as big as the transmission, or big as the engine, or bigger than the engine. And it's going to take up a ton of room in here, but I think it's going to give me the street ability that I need for this drag and drive event stuff. All right. So 98 Civic, full tube chassis, 25.2 cert, which I think is a 6.0 cert, under 2,800 pounds or 3,200 pounds. I'd have to double check. One of those two weights. K24, 4L80, Ford rear end, big meats. Stay tuned for the build. I hope you guys liked the first video, and I hope there's more. Thank you.